Every house hides a story. Some are filled with love, and some are written in pain. A glass lies shattered on the floor. One slipper turned upside down. On the wall, faint stains of blood, as if someone tried to silence a scream. The mother-in-law sits on the floor, crying, her scarf torn. A few steps away, the daughter-in-law stands trembling. Her eyes wet, her breath heavy, fear on her face. They say distance makes love grow stronger. But when love crosses oceans and gets trapped under one roof, relationships turn into war. A loud slap breaks the silence. Then nothing. Only the sound of a heartbeat remains. The American mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law. When respect breaks, love turns to blood. It's a calm evening in a quiet suburban neighborhood in the U.S. The camera pans over a neat two-story house decorated with fairy lights. A family is preparing to welcome someone special. Inside, Sarah, a modern, confident daughter-in-law, arranges flowers and sets the table. She looks slightly nervous but keeps smiling. The doorbell rings. Her husband, Adil, rushes to open it. Standing there is his mother, clad in a traditional shawl, holding a suitcase and a jar of achar. Her eyes shine with love and a hint of judgment. The mother-in-law, Mrs. Jamila, hugs her son tightly, then turns to Sarah with a polite but reserved smile. "Welcome to America, Amy," Sarah says warmly, taking her bag. Jamila replies softly, "America may be beautiful, but a house only becomes home when rules are followed." They all sit together for dinner. Polite conversation, careful smiles. The atmosphere is civil, yet heavy. Jamila watches everything. How Sarah speaks, what she wears, how casually she laughs. Sarah, sensing the silent evaluation, tries harder to please her. Adil, unaware of the brewing tension, feels proud to have both women under one roof. He doesn't notice the flicker in his mother's eyes when Sarah answers a phone call during dinner, or the way Sarah sighs quietly when Jamila corrects her pronunciation of an Urdu word. It's the calm before the storm, a perfect picture of family unity, moments before the cracks begin to show. It's been only a week since Jamila arrived, and the polite smiles have started to fade. The house that once echoed with laughter now feels tense and quiet. Sarah tries her best to keep peace, but every little thing turns into a complaint. It begins one afternoon in the kitchen. Jamila stands near the stove, sniffing the pot of pasta boiling on the burner. "This doesn't even smell like food," she mutters. "No spice, no soul." Sarah, trying to stay calm, replies, "Amy, we eat light here. Too much oil isn't healthy." Jamila gives her a sharp look. "Healthy? My son looks weak because of your salads." Sarah laughs nervously, hoping to lighten the mood, but Jamila takes it as mockery. Her tone hardens. "You've trapped him so well he doesn't even miss home anymore." Sarah's face changes. "Amy, please, that's unfair. I take care of him." Jamila fires back. "You take care of yourself first, like every American wife." The argument grows louder. Dishes clink, voices rise. Adil walks in, confused and anxious. Both women fall silent, pretending nothing happened. Jamila wipes her hands on her shawl, glaring quietly, while Sarah walks away, eyes moist. It's the first real crack in the fragile peace, the beginning of a war that neither woman intends to lose. The next few days turn heavy. Adil wakes up early for work and comes home late, hoping to avoid the invisible tension that fills every corner of the house. He loves both women, his mother, who raised him alone after his father's death, and his wife, who stood beside him through years of struggle in America. But now, love feels like a curse. Every night, Adil finds the living room divided. On one couch, his mother watches Pakistani dramas, muttering about how today's girls have no respect. On the other, Sarah scrolls through her phone, pretending not to hear. When he tries to talk, both women speak over him. "Jamila, tell her to listen to me. I know what's best for my son." "Sarah, tell your mother to stop treating me like a servant." Adil sits in silence, eyes darting between them. He wants peace, but his silence only fuels the fire. His mother thinks he's been bewitched by his wife. His wife believes he's a coward who won't defend her. At night, Adil stands on the balcony, staring into the cold American sky. Inside, muffled sounds of pots clanging and doors shutting echo faintly. He realizes that in trying to make both happy, he's slowly losing both. Days pass. but tension only deepens. Every conversation now feels like a hidden battle. Jamila begins her day with complaints. You don't wake up early. You don't pray properly. You don't cook real food. Sarah stays silent at first, biting her tongue. But one morning, she can't hold it in anymore. Jamila criticizes again, this time over a minor thing, the way Sarah greets guests. You don't even say salam properly, she snaps. Sarah finally explodes. Enough, Amy. You find fault in everything I do. I'm not your maid. Jamila freezes, insulted. You dare raise your voice at me in my son's house. Sarah steps closer. This is our house now, not just yours. The air turns electric. Both women glare at each other, hearts pounding. Adil walks in midway, shocked by the shouting. He tries to calm them, but Jamila cries. This girl has no respect. She's cursed my motherhood. Sarah storms out, slamming the door. Jamila sinks into the sofa, her eyes burning with rage and humiliation. That night, Jamila mutters under her breath, "May God show her the same pain she gives me." Sarah hears it from the hallway. Her eyes fill with tears, but anger overshadows the sadness. The storm has officially begun, and this time, it won't end in silence. The next day, the fight takes a more personal turn. Jamila walks into the living room and freezes. Sarah is wearing jeans and a sleeveless top, preparing to go out with friends. Jamila's face tightens with disbelief. Sarah, have you no shame? My son's wife dressed like this. Sarah replies calmly. Amy, it's normal here. No one cares what you wear. Jamila slams her hand on the table. In my house, everyone cares. This isn't a fashion show. Sarah sighs, trying to keep her tone steady. Amy, you can't control me. This is my home too. That sentence pierces through Jamila's pride like a knife. She walks up and, in a moment of fury, slaps Sarah hard across the face. The sound echoes. For a second, both freeze. Then Sarah, shaking with rage, pushes Jamila back. Jamila stumbles and hits the corner of the sofa. A vase falls and shatters. The fight becomes real. No words, just shouting, tears, and chaos. The noise draws the attention of neighbors outside. Adil, at work, gets a missed call from a neighbor. Something's happening at your house. Inside, Jamila sits on the floor, trembling and crying, while Sarah stares at her hands in shock. She didn't mean to push, but it's too late. The line between self-defense and aggression has vanished. And from this point on, nothing will ever be the same in that house. The house echoes with screams and breaking glass. The fight that began with words has turned violent. Jamila, clutching her shawl, shouts, "You've insulted me. I raised a son, not a slave for you." Sarah, her face red from the slap, yells back, "You don't own him, Amy. You just want to control everyone." The air crackles with rage. Jamila throws a kitchen spoon in frustration. It hits the wall and clatters to the floor. Sarah, trembling, pushes her again to step away, but Jamila loses her balance. She falls backward, knocking over a chair and crashing onto the floor. The sound of breaking glass from the coffee table shatters the silence. Sarah gasps, running toward her. "Amy, I didn't mean." Jamila groans in pain, clutching her arm, but her anger is louder than her hurt. "You pushed me." Outside, a neighbor's dog starts barking. Through the window, silhouettes of curious neighbors begin to gather. Sarah's heart pounds. The reality of what just happened hits her. She's crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. The living room looks like a battlefield. Broken vase, spilled tea, shards of glass glittering under the dim light. In that moment, Sarah realizes it's no longer a family argument. It's a scandal waiting to explode. The front door swings open. Adil rushes in, his face pale. He stops, stunned by what he sees. His mother on the floor, crying, and Sarah standing in the middle of the wrecked living room, frozen. "What happened here?" he shouts, his voice shaking. Jamila raises her hand, pointing at Sarah. "Your wife pushed me. She wants me dead." Sarah blurts out, "She hit me first. I was defending myself." Adil looks from one to the other, his mind spinning. His mother's wrist is bruised. Sarah's cheek is red. The entire room feels poisoned. He kneels beside his mother, helping her up. "Emmy, please sit down." Jamila weeps louder, exaggerating her pain. "I came from Pakistan to see my son, not to be thrown on the floor like trash." Sarah stands near the doorway, shaking her head. "You're twisting everything. You've been insulting me for weeks. Adil yells, enough. Both of you stop it. But neither listens. In the corner, a picture frame falls from the wall, their wedding photo, glass cracking through their smiling faces. The symbolism is brutal and clear. Adil feels suffocated. The home he built with love has turned into a courtroom, and he's the only judge left. Minutes later, there's a loud knock at the door. Bang, bang. Adil opens it to find two American police officers standing outside. Behind them, the curious neighbors whisper, watching the chaos unfold. Sir, we got a domestic disturbance call, one officer says firmly. Jamila, still emotional, clutches her arm and cries. She attacked me. Look what she did. Sarah snaps. She hit me first. It was self-defense. The officers glance at each other, taking notes. One gently helps Jamila to a chair, while the other speaks to Sarah. Ma'am, please calm down. We need to hear both sides. The house, moments ago filled with shouting, now hums with quiet dread. The sound of the police radio crackles. Adil stands between them, speechless, torn apart, embarrassed, lost. Jamila keeps crying, muttering in Urdu. Ya Allah, what did I do to deserve this? Sarah whispers to herself. Why did I let her get to me? After questioning, the police decide not to arrest anyone, but they issue a formal warning. If this happens again, someone will be charged, the officer warns. As the door closes behind them, silence fills the house, heavier than before. Jamila looks away, refusing to speak. Sarah wipes her tears quietly, and Adil, sitting on the sofa, realizes that no one won tonight. They all lost something that can't be fixed. The house is silent after the police leave, but it's not peace, it's emptiness. Adil sits alone in the living room, his head buried in his hands. In one corner, Jamila quietly packs her suitcase. In another, Sarah sits on the floor, hugging her knees, her face streaked with tears. No one speaks. The air feels heavy, like it's mourning something. Jamila breaks the silence. I can't stay here another day. I came to bless this home, not to destroy it. Her voice shakes, but her pride stays intact. Adil rushes to her. Ami, please don't say that. She looks at him coldly. You've changed. You're not my son anymore. Sarah looks up, guilt mixing with anger. Ami, I didn't mean to hurt you. Jamila cuts her off. Don't call me Ami. You don't deserve it. Adil tries to mediate, but both women turn away. Finally, Sarah stands and says bitterly, if she stays, I'll leave. That's the final crack. Jamila zips her suitcase and wipes her tears. Don't worry. I'm going. Adil doesn't stop her this time. He just watches, helpless, broken. The taxi arrives outside. Jamila steps out, her eyes filled with unspoken pain. From the window, Sarah watches her go, her heart trembling between relief and regret. A home that once echoed with laughter now breathes only silence. At the airport, Jamila sits alone by the window, waiting for her flight back to Pakistan. Her wrist still aches, but her heart hurts more. She clutches her tasbih, whispering prayers between tears. Her last words to herself. I came for love, but I leave with a curse. Meanwhile, back home, Sarah moves like a ghost through the house. The living room is clean again. No broken glass, no raised voices, but the silence screams louder than before. Adil returns from the airport, his face drained. He places his mother's scarf on the table, the last thing she forgot to pack. Sarah's eyes fill with tears. She'll never forgive me, will she? She whispers. Adil doesn't answer. He just sits down beside her, eyes hollow. I don't know if she'll forgive me either. They sit together, but the distance between them feels like miles. The photo frame, their wedding picture, still lies cracked on the shelf. Adil picks it up, stares at it for a long moment, then places it face down. That night, as rain taps softly on the windows, Sarah looks in the mirror. A faint bruise still lingers on her cheek. She touches it gently, and a tear rolls down. Adil's voice breaks the silence. One mother left, and one love died. The screen fades to black. The war is over, but the wounds will never heal. The sound of soft rain. Darkness beyond the window. A broken photo frame lies on the table, and a scarf still folded beside it. The husband sits silently, eyes blank. The daughter-in-law stares into the mirror. A bruise on her cheek, tears streaming down. Sometimes families don't die from death. They die from silence. One lost a mother. The other lost her peace. And that house lost its soul. The rain fades. Thunder rolls. The distant call to prayer echoes through the air. Every home begins its war. The day love forgets to respect. A mother is gone. And love is dead.